All right, compound inequalities.
Okay.
Here we just got done talking about solving multi-step inequalities, so now we're just going to add another component to it.
Great. Really
Son, we can do it.
Okay, thanks, Whit.
Yeah.
I think we can describe this as and versus or.
You got it.
Okay? Let's look. And versus or.
Okay.
What you see on the left side of the screen is called an and.
Mm-hmm.
And what that means is you have values of x that
Apply to
two totally different inequalities.
Mm-hmm.
For example, x is greater than or equal to 3.
So if you graph that,
it would look like the red line.
Mm-hmm.
So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, focus on the blue line. That is x is less than or equal to 7. Well, if you combine those two into one, then you have
an and inequality.
Basically, that from 3 to 7 fits both of those, the red line and the blue line.
Right. So x can be anything between those two numbers.
Between those two numbers.
Right.
And so this is what the graph looks like of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you use the word and to represent it.
Right.
Also, you can take out the, well, okay. So then you have what's called an or. And or is when you have two inequalities and none of the values overlap.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So you can have this red option, x is less than -2, so -2 and left,
Mm-hmm.
or x is greater than or equal to 1, so closed circle at 1, going right. Then when you combine those two,
There's nothing on the number line. Oh, I love it. We look cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing on the number line is overlapping, so it's called an or.
And includes or doesn't.
And, well,
Also,
you can write an and as one inequality.
correct.
So you can, and you start from smallest to biggest. So if you look at what she's circling in green, 3 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 7.
You got it. In or, I cannot do that.
You have to have two separate ones.
Right, because let's say if I had an x value right here in the center, there's no number that can apply to being shaded left and being shaded right.
Yeah,
There's just no number.
Okay.
There you go.
So let us look at how it works. Okay. So we're going to write a compound inequality phrase,
Right.
and we're going to graph it.
Right.
So I'm looking for and or.
Okay.
All real numbers that are greater than -2 and less than 6.
Got it.
So let's chunk it. All real numbers that are greater than -2.
So
So
I'll say x.
is greater than -2.
So if this was or equal to, it would say or
Equal to. Right.
Okay.
Okay. And then I have another inequality
Okay.
that is x is less than 6.
Okay.
So since it says and, I'm going to
Mhm.
write this all in one,
Right.
smallest to biggest, -2. So actually, let's flip it. Let's show them how this looks.
Okay.
We're going to put the two x's together so that they're going to be married in the middle. So -2 is less than x, and then the word and.
Then look what I can do. I can just bring this.
Oh my gosh, that was cool. Oh, no. Okay, so then that's my final answer right there.
Right.
And then you graph it. So I'm going to put a open dot at -2 because
Correct.
it's thinking back in my brain coral about what we've been doing.
Right.
So it
Doesn't include.
open circle at -2. And then I'm going to shade all the way to 6 and put an open circle there.
You got it. There we
Just
go.
like that.
Okay.
It's not hard. It's not, here's the thing, guys. You're going to have to go slow
Right.
and talk to yourself.
Right.
And if
I believe.
you need to talk out loud, then we'll find a place for you.
Okay.
Okay, so let's try it again.
Next one. All real numbers that are less than 0. So just stop there and start. So all real numbers that are less than
So less than
0.
0. Cool, there's one.
Okay.
Or.
So you physically write the word
Mhm.
or.
And then x is greater than or equal to 5.
Okay.
So here's why this is an or. There is no number ever that exists that's less than 0 but bigger than 5. Right? Isn't that what it's saying? Right. What number would go there? There's no number that's bigger than 0, but
Right.
so
So
that
like
is true. There's a number that's bigger. X has to be smaller than
Right.
0. Sorry.
0 is greater than x.
Yeah. So there's no number that's smaller
Mhm.
than 0, but bigger than 5.
So don't
So
do this.
It's the other. Yeah.
Don't do this.
No. So you write that. They're using T. I
Mhm.
don't know why. And then you graph it. So you're going to put an open
So
circle.
start with this.
Open circle at Zippo. And you're going to shade right, left, left, because it's going that way, less than, and then close dot at 5 that way.
Got it.
Not hard.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, let's move that graph up
I
a
will.
little bit. Okay. Okay. So now, whew.
Now we have to solve this.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a problem like we've been solving forever, but now we have to do it to 3 sides.
So remember how we taught you to draw those lines down? This is where it's going to be really important that you actually do that. So on my inequalities, we draw the 2 lines down.
Right. So -3 is less than or equal to m minus 4, which is less than -1.
So, okay, so I want the m to be by itself in the middle.
So our goal is the exact same that we've been doing all along in this class.
Isolate the variable.
Okay.
So I need to get rid of the -4
Okay.
by adding 4. Now, in the past, we would add whatever we do to one side of the equal sign, we do to the other side. Well, now I've got 2 inequalities, so I have to do it in 2 other places.
Correct.
Okay? Mind blown.
And that's all it is, guys.
Okay, so -3, then we just solve. -3 plus 4 is 1, is less than or equal to m, and then -1 plus 4 is 3. So m has to be somewhere between 1 and 3. Well, I know what it is.
What?
2.
Well, it could be 1 though. 'cause
Oh, it could be 1.
included.
Okay, so then we're going to do open, close circle at 1, open circle at 3, color it in between.
There you go.
It's pretty.
This is fun.
It is fun. I'm having fun now. I
Okay.
was a little nervous. So
We got it.
this one says on your own. So try it. The first thing you need to do is draw 2 lines, just 2, down, and then solve. This one has 2 steps though. You still do the same thing. Okay, pause now and try.
Okay. Hopefully we came out with this answer.
Can we show them
Yeah.
how to do it?
Exactly. Yeah. I'm happy. Happy. I'm so happy.
Okay.
I want to sing it for him, but
I don't think you should.
no Pharrell here. Okay, -2 plus 4, 2, less than,
3y,
which is less than.
18. Now, some of you may have stopped here and been like, I don't know what to do. It's okay.
Do the
What do
same
you-
thing we've always done.
What do you have to do to get rid of the 3 on the y is divide by the 3. So then we have 2/3 is less than y is less than 6. And notice how the number line, they just made it in whole number increments, and they just estimated where this open circle goes.
Right.
No big deal.
Done.
You still happy?
Very.
Okay.
Okay.
So, here we go. Doing it again.
Yeah. Now we just write it, well, we've already done this, right?
It's the same thing.
Yeah. All real numbers that are greater than 1
And
and less than 5.
that's a good place to rewind and pause and show us what we looked like right then. Okay, so x is greater than 1. And x is less than 5.
Since we know it's an and,
I can flip that
you
guy
can
around.
rewrite this.
And remember, do the one that's the least, the one that has the smallest number in it.
So 1 is less than x, and then x is less than
5.
5. So I just combine them
Yeah.
as I wrote them.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
Next.
All real numbers that are less than 10
Or,
greater than 15.
okay, so
I'm going to
x,
have 2 separate ones here.
because it's an or.
Right.
X is less than 10.
Do it as it says. Or x is greater than 15.
There's no number that's less than 10 that's also bigger than 15, so you have to have 2 there.
Right. Okay.
And we didn't have to graph those, but now we do.
Right.
Okay, again, this is doing the same thing. Draw those lines down. It's like a plane director.
Yeah.
And then solve. So -2 to the 5, and then -2 over here too.
Mm-hmm.
So -4 is less than x, which is also less than
3.
3, regular 3.
Mm-hmm.
So then we're going to do an open circle at -4,
Mm-hmm.
an open circle at 3. And should I go with the outside?
No.
Color
It's an
inside because it's
and.
an and.
Got it.
Okay, let's see, did we do it right?
It's a pretty one.
We're so
Done.
good at these.
Oh, almost. We're almost really good at these.
Oh. I bet some of you were like, you forgot to color in the dot.
Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Solving, okay, so we've solved an and, now we're going to solve an or.
Right.
All you're doing, you've got the two inequalities with the word or in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
You solve them,
2 separate ones.
and then you put it on one graph.
Got it.
So here's how this works.
So 2 separate problems. So I can just make a line here.
No, that's.
If okay.
Do you think?
I
I think
get
that's
it.
going to be confusing.
I get it.
We're not going to make a line.
Okay.
So look at the left one first. We'll zoom in on 2n minus 1. So plus 1, plus 1.
Okay.
2n is less than 2
-2.
with a negative sign. I wasn't done talking.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
Divide by 2. I don't need to flip the sign because
Because-
my negative is not traveling.
So n is -1.
And
Less
it's less
than
than -1.
-1. Sorry.
Okay.
Or
Or
this job on the other side.
okay.
Oh boy, -2 on both sides. So I'm left with -3n
Mm-hmm.
is less than -6. I'm
Okay.
like pounding this desk.
Sorry, inequalities
whoever's-
it's passionate. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
So here I'm traveling with a negative.
Yeah, you are dividing by a negative, so you
Yep.
have to flip a rooski the sign.
So n is greater than a +3.
Okay. No, 2, +2.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's like pretty close, but it's not right.
Okay.
Okay, so now, an or, you can't combine them together, so you just, that's your whole answer there. Slap it on a graph and color the opposite direction.
So open at -1.
Yep.
N is less than, so I shade
Shade over
this
there.
direction.
Mhm.
Over here, 2, open, and I shade to the right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Shade to the right.
Yeah?
Let me see you clap your hands.
Okay, interval notation.
This is, it's gonna be hard, but we're gonna get you through it
Yep.
with this tip right here on this page.
Right. Parentheses, the little curved guys. Those are what you use when you just have greater than or less than.
So if you think of parentheses like you think of the open circle,
Yep.
okay? See what I'm doing here?
So if you had your key, it would be here in parentheses.
Yep.
Just adding to our little face.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now, if it's greater than or equal to, oh my goodness, we have 2 minutes left.
We're going to get there.
You use brackets. And then
Okay.
if it goes on forever, you use the infinity sign
Because that means it goes on forever.
or the negative infinity sign if it's on the negative side.
Right.
So here's a graph of what that looks like. For
With
example.
examples.
Yes, so study this. Look at the very first one. X is greater than or equal to 2. Close dot at 2, shade right.
Mhm.
But then they did 2 with the bracket, and it goes forever to the right to positive infinity.
And since it goes on forever,
You use-
infinities will always have a parenthesis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's look at a couple. Go back to that sheet if you need to.
Okay, so we've got 1 minute to get through 2 things.
Okay, what is the graph of x is less than or equal to -1 or x is greater than 2?
So let's graph it.
Graph it first.
So close dot at 1, shade left, and then open at 2, shade right.
Okay,
Then we're gonna do,
so I know I have a bracket here at -1.
yep,
I can work backwards here and then do my infinity,
negative.
and it's always a parenthesis. It's supposed to be a negative infinity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
This one, bracket at 2.
okay, parenthesis at 2,
I'm sorry, I meant
Yeah, you did it.
parentheses. I said it wrong.
comma,
Infinity, that's positive. Okay,
There you go.
so there you go. So try these on for size. Tip on number 3. Isolate the term with the variable, which is that thing in the middle. It's in a fraction, so you have to undo the fraction part first.
You got it. Okay,
See you on the flip side.
later.